We have amazing news for altcoin season as two of our favorite coins here at the Investing Pros channel, ONDO and XRP, look to be teaming up. What does this mean for both of their price actions? Guess what? That's not the only good news for XRP today. We got a lot to break down for the XRP army. And also, Bitcoin and a lot of crypto back up from yesterday's scares. Is that downward manipulation from the DeepSeek fiasco over? Or does crypto have a little further to downside to go before the bull market continues? We're going to discuss all of that and a whole lot more in today's episode. So don't go anywhere. Smash that like, hit subscribe. But first, we got to roll an intro. How is everybody doing? Welcome to Investing Bros live show. It is 3 p.m. We go live every weekday at 3. Welcome Dan Moser, who just became a Bros YouTube member. Shout out. Can we get the horns, Smay, there? Can we get the horns there? Celebration. There we go. Glad to have you here, Dan. I'm also glad to have you two fine gentlemen here with me. Smay, I'm going to be specific today because yesterday you were a little confused. How are you doing?
Well, Tim, I'm doing just swell. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, good to hear. T-Shroom, how are we doing, my man? How we feeling?
I'm doing better than I deserve, Tim. My hyperscaler / Bitcoin mining stock has rebounded a little bit, that being CoreZ, C-O-R-Z. That stock is coming back a little bit. Not as much as I need it to. Still has some ground to make up, but yeah, doing better than I deserve, Tim, still regardless.
Listen, I think what you just said right there wraps up the market as a whole right now. We're up from yesterday, not as much as we need. We're going to take a look at some things on the charts here in just a couple of minutes. But you know what? It's good to see some green once again in the crypto space. We're going to look at bubbles here in a second. But first, as we've started doing here more recently, Teacher Room, let's get our 1 minute news wrap up. This doesn't mean it's all the news and we're not doing any more. It means these are the headlines. Everyone who's here early, you get to hear what we're going to talk about today before we actually discuss it. Teacher Room, what do you got for us today?
Absolutely. Let's get into it here. ONDO Finance is teaming up with the XRP Ledger. So big wins over there for Ripple. Ripple case info also deleted from the U.S. Securities and Exchange website. This could be very bullish. We'll discuss it. Cynthia Lummis, Senator Cynthia Lummis, provides a strategic Bitcoin reserve detail list. We'll get into that here in just a second. And Trump's World Liberty Financial just purchased 1,200,000 of this token Move. That's about just under $1 million worth. And we've got more here. Jim Cramer says you should own Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a great thing to have in your portfolio. If you know, you know. This one is a little bit controversial. And ringing up the rear here, Coinbase secures regulatory approval to expand services into Argentina. So some really compelling headlines today, and it's no surprise that Bitcoin's actually getting a little bit of a bid today.
Yeah, the minute anything good happens, Jim Cramer has to go out and open his mouth about Bitcoin. So, yeah, that's it. End of the show. Sell all your Bitcoin. Head for the hills. 10K incoming. This in from Jim Cramer. Just kidding. Let's go take a look at what's happening in the bubbles. Because I said it's been a good thing to see some red coins. Look at this right here. Now, there's a couple coins on this list that do hurt me seeing in the red. I'll start with those ones. Render is still in my portfolio. Again, I think we're seeing a lot of chaos happening with what's happening with DeepSeek. We'll talk a little bit more about that today, but it's in the gutter a little bit. Jasmy's in the gutter. That's one of my D-pin plays over here. But for the most part, these other big losers, Pengu, never going to own that one. WorldCoin, my arch nemesis. Again, I'm really not anti and too many cryptos out there. There is one coin in this bull market that if you submit your portfolio for a rate my portfolio and you have WorldCoin in there, automatic zero if you have WorldCoin in your portfolio. I am going to war with them. I don't like that coin. Everybody else, fair game. I might not love it, but I won't hate it. ONDO, we're going to talk about them today, up 8.9%. XRP, now I want you to focus on this. It's not the biggest gainer here, XRP. It's only up 7%. But for being the third largest cryptocurrency in the world, to be amongst some of the top gainers, this is absolutely amazing for XRP. If you hold it, you made some good money here today. It's up 7%. How about Jupiter? We don't talk about Jupiter a lot. Probably won't talk about it too much in the show, but this is a coin we talked about a while ago. We said could make some splashes. Well, today they're having a great day. There's our bubbles for our afternoon show. Let's go and take a look at Bitcoin technical analysis, where this morning it has been a little chaotic here on the Bitcoin charts this morning. If anyone was trying to trade it, a lot of chaos going on. We did bounce back up well. There was two calls we told people to look at, and I did catch one good trade today, got butchered by another one here on Bitcoin, but we saw a lot of volatility in play, and I'm going to tell you where I think things are going. But zooming out, let's do this again. Let's calm everybody down before we go into nitty gritty and talk about what the next day or two could look like. Zoom out before you freak out. Bitcoin still squarely in a bull market. In fact, if you want to start hearing me get pessimistic about Bitcoin, wake me up if we ever drop below this purple line right here, this 200-day SMA. That is when I might, at this point in the bull market, have some thoughts of like, all right, that's not choice. That's not great. We've done it twice already in this bull market, but I don't think we're headed for another cross below there again. But wake me up if that ends up happening. That's your SMA. As a whole, we are extremely bullish. Time to zoom back in and focus on some details here. Now, yesterday we talked about this, but the highest time frame that we had a sell signal a couple of days ago was the daily chart. If you're wondering, what are we talking about a sell signal? Well, we have a method here. It's our number one way we trade in the Bros community, and it uses the Lux Algo Oscillator. It also combines and takes a look at things like the MACD and how we were moving bearish there. But what we saw was negative. We had a red reversal, bearish momentum, and then even though it's not great here, we did have some negative money flowing in here, and it looks like it flowed back positive, but for a second there, we were negative. We had a sell signal, right? This is the highest time frame we have a sell signal at the moment, meaning everything higher than it at the moment on this oscillator is saying, hey, we're either neutral or bullish going forward. Guess what we did yesterday? We went to the target that we trade this strategy with. We came down, wicked into this smart trail on the daily chart, which means that bearish pressure, I'm not saying we can't revisit those levels, but the necessity of that sell signal, the urgency of that sell signal, it's no longer the pressing matter at the moment. And in fact, we developed a pretty bullish looking candle here on the daily chart with what we call a bullish hammer, a small body, a small bearish body that's very high, very small wick to the upside, very long wick to the downside. You also can see here we had a dramatic amount of volume come in as well. If I were to show you, let's say on the 1 hour chart, you can see big volume came in on this move, but that volume did reverse us and head us back to the upside. That's a very bullish candle. So I want to make sure we're celebrating our wins before we talk about the question marks, okay? Today, we're a little bit setting up a doji, an indecision candle. We're not necessarily sure yet, is this going to be a bullish candle or is it going to be a bearish candle? But I will tell you, based off what I'm seeing on lower time frames, what my suspicions are. And that takes us down towards the 4 hour chart. Now, this was the largest time frame we're under right now that had a buy signal. I could be wrong. Let me check the 6 hour to make sure I'm not. Yeah, 6 hour does not have a buy signal yet. Why? Because that money flow is still negative. But on the 4 hour chart, we did have a buy signal, green reversal, bullish momentum, and look at this, positive money flow. Okay, no time frame above the 4 hour right now is printing a buy signal. And unfortunately, what happened today, and this was where I got successfully in a trade, and then I got butchered on one earlier than that. We did come up and kiss the lower level of the smart trail here on the 4 hour chart. Could we come up a little higher? Yeah, we could. We absolutely could. But as you're going to see here when we look at these candles, this does have a very short-term top-looking play on the candles. It starts with the fact that, yeah, we had a buy signal. We technically hit the target for our buy signal on that 4 hour chart. You're also going to notice on the 4 hour chart, look at this. This is called a doji candle, and this is a neutral doji candle, right? So not a lot to read here necessarily. You have a long upper wick, you have a long lower wick, and you have this really tight, small candle body. In fact, this is what we call a butterfly candle. Doesn't mean a lot right there. it's what the smaller charts look like that make me say this is more on the bearish side. Let's look at the 1 hour chart and look at that peak candle. That, ladies and gentlemen, is called a shooting star. And when you look at the shooting star with the increased volume that came with it, what this communicates to me is this, after a rally, was the last final pump. The bulls bought up a little bit, and then towards the end of this candle that happened back around 10 to 11 a.m. this morning, the bears came in and said, all right, we're going to stop this momentum. We're going to sell off. And we've been doing nothing but going lower since then, currently trading back around 102,000. So there's the gist of it, right? We're not too bearish because the largest bear signal got sufficed yesterday on the daily chart. But we're not too bullish right now because the largest buy signal got sufficed this morning and is now coming back down. So what is the next level to keep an eye on for Bitcoin to scoop up some? And we had a Tim's Take this morning. If you don't know what Tim's Take is in our free Discord. I go live on an unlisted YouTube video and give you guys thoughts a couple times a week. We had one this morning, and I told people before this rally that I was going to be heavily watching the 1 hour smart trail and the 30-minute smart trail, both of them coming in here in the range of somewhere around $101,000. Let's talk why. Now, this was very confusing. This is one of the reasons why we did get a little wrecked this morning in some of our trades, because they kept messing with us. Let's go in here and look at the Luxago oscillator. You can see very clearly the red reversal, bearish momentum, negative money flow. We were under a sell signal, okay? We were under a sell signal, and which means we need to come down and at least tap into this smart trail on the 30-minute chart. But temporarily, didn't mean to go away there, temporarily this morning, we actually flipped into being bullish with green momentum and positive money flow. And there were, even though it went away later, there was a green dot that flashed this morning. So this was very concerning to me, saying, all right, it looks like the bearish signal was over. We might be flipping into a buy signal now. Very confusing. If you went to the 1 hour chart, while it doesn't look like it, you can see corresponding kind of what we had was the 1 hour actually looked like it was curving to the upside. The money flow has stayed positive here. So we flashed a buy signal on the 1 hour chart as well. And this caused a little bit of chaos. Well, now we're looking at it. And even though we don't have a sell signal on the 1 hour chart, we do still have a sell signal here on our 30-minute chart. We're still watching this money flow go down. We still see a lot of room here with our oscillator to the downside. And even though right now we're not flashing a sell signal yet on the 1 hour chart, you will see that we have the red reversal and the bearish momentum. Right, we have two elements. The last thing you need is negative money flow, and this is definitely rounding, it looks like, and wants to curve over and come to the downside. So this puts our targets for maybe the next 12 hours, give or take, somewhere in the next 12 hours, maybe 24. We'll see how long it takes. Going back to the chart, this is going to put us looking into this category right here with an overlap of these smart trails. High end, we're looking around 101,000 here on the 1 hour smart trail. If I move down to the 30 minutes, you're going to see 101 does come into contact there as well. It also has take profits to go a little lower. We absolutely could go lower. I don't want you guys to think that we absolutely have to bounce into the smart trail, but it would be something to say expectation-wise right now, we're probably dropping on Bitcoin. Again, we don't have a buy signal anymore on the 4 hour chart. We're pretty close to setting a sell signal on the 1 hour chart. We're under a sell signal on the 30. You'd have to drop down probably pretty far to find a buy signal. There's not one here on the 15 because we have no reversal coming in. Let's look at the 10-minute. Technically, the highest buy signal is on the 10-minute chart. Green reversal, bullish momentum. That's technically positive money flow, even though the oscillator is curving over, which means maybe we come back up here and briefly touch 102.8. But right now, major signs are pointing towards the downside. Look, even here, the signals and overlays has a sell signal with take profits coming in where? Between 101.2 and 100,300. So just going to let you guys know, more than likely, we want to touch back to or slightly below 101,000. Let's check on a lot of details once that has happened. I don't want you to freak out because it's still a higher low from yesterday's lows, but more than likely 101,000 does want to be tapped. And this doesn't even make this isn't even like a brutal blow to the Bitcoin rally here. Today in our Bros Academy, we're teaching our Fibonacci retracements, and a price level coming in here around 101 to 100,800 level. That would simply be a pullback on Fibonacci back down to the 0.5 level, a significant level, but very strong support. More often than not, a pullback to the 0.5 level would just signal this was a higher low. We want to continue to the upside. But what we want to do here is as we approach back down towards this level, let's watch to see, does volume confirm? Do the buyers start to come back in? Do the bulls flip this back? And then we can be more assured that we're going to be moving up to the upside. Otherwise, we're probably looking at just revisiting the daily smart trail once again, and that's going to be somewhere here in the world, back right below $100,000. But long story short, we got some strong support beneath us, strong levels beneath us, a lot of bullishness on larger time frames. Do not freak out. Use this opportunity to look for more dips to buy, maybe even a good way to practice some good trading techniques over in the bros community. We got a lot more coins to talk about, but let's transition right now into the two hottest coins today in terms of stories, and that has to do with ONDO and XRP. Before I do my technical analysis, I want to throw it to T-Shroom, and let's break down the stories, the news, what's affecting these coins. T-Shroom, take it away. And you're muted. At least you're muted on my end.
I can hear you. Sorry, I
There
was
we go.
sneezing, so I had to mute myself. We are bringing OUSG to the XRP ledger with Ripple. This is the latest update here from Ondo Finance's official Twitter account. OUSG, an institutional grade product backed by tokenized U.S. Treasuries, and BlackRock's BUIDL Build Fund, represents a natural fit for a blockchain purpose built for institutional adoption. So this is the big announcement, and Ondo is compatible with many other blockchains. It's not just XRP, but now that XRP kind of joins that Ondo team, it just further solidifies bullishness for both of those projects. Sort of an in-group starting to form. Ondo is a project that World Liberty Fi, aka Donald Trump's crypto project, has purchased some of. So this is bullish. And XRP is a American-made crypto, as some people have been following that narrative as well. But it doesn't stop there, Tim, and I want to get your response here to all of this Ripple bullishness. This is the other headline: Ripple case info deleted from the U.S. Securities and Exchange website. Now, we posted this. There was a couple of comments. I won't scroll down to them, but when I posted this, there was a couple of comments. Somebody said that it's just been moved to the part of the website where the appeals are stored and the information on appeals are. So, this could be a little bit overhyped at this point, but looking at kind of how XRP is making a splash today in the news, do you think that this is going to hold? Do you think that the market needs to see more in order for new, fresh buyers to come in and purchase XRP?
Yeah, well, let's talk about this. I said it when we were looking at the bubbles. XRP, for being a top 3 crypto, is up 7%, which is massive in the last 24 hours. On the 24 candle, it's only up 2.36%, but that's because, again, we're taking into account the massive crash that happened yesterday. Let me tell you why this is extremely bullish, because even though the XRP ONDO teaming up is amazing news for ONDO, and we're going to talk about ONDO here in just a couple of minutes because it's one of the top performing coins today, XRP does benefit from that, but that's not a major deal. That's what they need to be doing. They need to be partnering with other cryptocurrencies and having people use their system. The reason XRP is pumping right now is because of, whether it's true or not, is because of this SEC news. And I think it's one thing to say, you know what, maybe there's a glitch, maybe there's something happening. But if we're being honest, it passes the sniff test of being real, because now that Gary Gensler and his goons are gone, there's nothing that's going to be attacking Ripple and XRP. So whether it's true or not, whether the website's having a glitch or not, the war on XRP is over. And this is something to be celebrating. So no matter what the details of the story actually entail, people need to understand it's very bullish for XRP. And then, of course, back to the ONDO XRP collaboration, very bullish for ONDO attaching themselves in with XRP, and bullish for XRP as well, as they have another ally in the crypto space. Of course, we've seen in the recent days Bitcoin and XRP armies going back and forth at each other. Bitcoin maxis are really fussing, complaining that Garlinghouse is in the ears of someone in Washington, D.C., discouraging a Bitcoin reserve. Whether it's true or not, I think the whole fight is very silly. There's room for both Bitcoin and XRP, but XRP with another ally, very, very bullish. Let's take a look at some charts here. Let's look at ONDO and XRP and see what is going on. ONDO had gotten a little boring here. In fact, if we were looking at a 4-hour chart, very boring moves here, not as volatile as some others, kind of pulled back down late yesterday, but rallying back up here and hitting some levels we actually discussed yesterday as far as how high it could get with our VIP trading group. But take a look here. We had a buy signal on the 4-hour chart here today, really, and then we came in, we hit that smart trail. We actually wicked above it temporarily. But I'm going to be interested as we start to see buy signals pouring on higher time frames. For example, it looks like, let me see, maybe go back to the 6-hour. The 6 hours close. Let's go to the daily. I remember there's a higher time frame that still wanted to go high. It's the daily chart. The daily chart here had a buy signal. Let me go back in here. Right, green reversal, bullish momentum. We did not get positive money flow until right in here, right? So back on the 22nd, we have not touched that smart trail yet. We still have positivity flowing on the daily chart. So if this ONDO momentum continues, even with Bitcoin possibly falling a little lower and maybe some other coins falling lower, ONDO is breaking out, and I look out for 160. Look out for 159, 160 for the 4-hour chart here on ONDO. Again, even though we technically hit the 4-hour price targets, this is not an oscillator that's overextended at all. And I'm looking at the RSI. The RSI is not overextended. Yeah, it's curving a little bit, but a lot of room to the upside here on the RSI. The MACD looks like it's in a great position, that it just crossed bullish and wants to continue up. So this is one of those examples that I would have traded this into the smart trail, or I did trade this into the smart trail, took my profit, but don't be surprised if you see a bigger breakout and a move up towards 160 on ONDO in the next little bit. And again, this news is just another reason why further ONDO adoption is going to continue. Let's keep going on here and look at XRP. And then I want to take a look at chat stream. So keep your eye on chat. Let's engage with them a little bit on this story, on this topic with these two coins. XRP, big bounce here. Big bounce. It did only bounce back into a significant level of resistance. So this is something that I want to see kind of corrected here. Let's get rid of this green line because that's less relevant right now. You almost could even say we're kind of forming a megaphone pattern. If you go back to the wick from here on January 15th, megaphone pattern kind of going in play right now. But the question is going to be, does this hold up, or is this one of those fake outs where there was some selling and then we pick up some momentum and continue to the upside? For that, let's take a look at what our oscillators, our indicators are saying about the strength of this movement. So there you go. There's our buy signal, green reversal, bullish momentum, positive money flow. I'll get a little curve right there, but where's our smart trail at here? Yeah, we broke through it. This was a successful buy signal. We still have take profits a little higher, but we're hitting our head on some resistance right now. I'm wondering just what level of resistance we're hitting our heads on when it comes to smart trails. Because even here, you can see a buy signal on, not quite a buy signal, no green reversal in play here on the 8-hour chart. So back to the 6-hour. There you go. 6-hour had a buy signal, but it also was bouncing off of that 6-hour smart trail. So can't read a lot into that, but this is a positive sign here that the negative indicator on the 6-hour chart, the sell signal, the bearish divergence, hit the smart trail, hit the take profit, hit a trending level of support, and it's making a move back towards the upside. Let's go take a look at the 1-hour chart. This might tell us a little bit more. And there we go. This is where we're looking at for a pullback on XRP. Red reversal, bearish momentum, and we look very close to negative money flow coming in. Guess what that means? Pull back right in here, back towards $3, set ourselves a nice higher low, and then we have a shot at continuing to the upside. You got a nice order block right in this camp. I'm going to imagine, there's probably some long liquidations. We can come back down, clear out those liquidations, and then continue to liquidate these ones up here. So XRP, if you're looking to scoop some up, $3.05, $3, somewhere between $3.05 and $3. Looks like a good spot for XRP. I realize I didn't do that for ONDO. ONDO deserves a recognition here as well. Let's turn off liquidations for a second. What are we looking at here? No sell signal on that 1-hour chart. Let's see if there's a sell signal on there we go. 30-minute looks a lot closer to being a sell signal here. That would say somewhere in this world, let's turn this back on. That doesn't help us. Somewhere in this world of 136 to 134 is going to be a spot to keep it interest. This right here, a former resistance level around 136 is very interesting. Fibonacci would probably even say there's going to be a significant level right in this spot. Oh, look at that. It's called the golden pocket, the most significant level of Fibonacci retracement. I like on ONDO 136, 4 to be exact, as a buy up, and then XRP, going back to that 1-hour chart, somewhere right in here. Some are right in here, 305-ish area, 305 to $3 for an XRP purchase in the short term. But with that said, let's take a break real quick. We got a lot more news to go through. Let's read some chat. Let's engage with the people, and then we'll continue. By the way, while we're engaging in chat, go ahead and smash that like button. 937 people watching, and yet, what is that, 163 likes? 162 likes? It's not loading for me, so I can't see how many likes we have. But smash that like button. Shroomy, what are you seeing in chat?
Yeah, it's 163 lights. A lot of pessimism, and it's to be understood. It's to be understood. Well, maybe we'll zoom out and talk a little bit about kind of the overall market sentiment. But Ray Del Sosa does have a zoomed in question here. TA, he said a lot of coins seem to have a death cross incoming 50 moving average over the 20 moving average. These are lagging indicators and tend to mark the bottom after consolidation. Please check. Thoughts? Investing Bros.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ray Del Sosa. Good question.
So what else? What coins, right? What coins are you saying that? Also, the ones to really pay attention to would be on the daily chart. Those are the really big moving ones. I'll start here with XRP. Go to my screen, Smay. XRP is nowhere close to a death cross. That yellow line right there, that's the 50. This purple line, that's the 200. Let me make sure of that, so I'm not just saying that and it's not true. But yeah, yellow is 50, purple is 200. So nowhere close on XRP. On ONDO, you're seeing the yellow curve back down, but that's nowhere close. Bitcoin's nowhere close. I mean, so unless we're talking about like a 4-hour version of this, which I won't see that either, I don't know what coins are doing a death cross. So sorry about that. If you had some specifically, I could take a look at, but I'm not seeing that on a lot of the main things. This is the daily time frame, not seeing death crosses. So yeah, I mean, anything else you saw in chat there, Shroom, before we continue?
Let's see. Yeah, not a ton.
Dip buyer, I see she wants to check render and near. We can do that towards the end. I want to kind of keep this one on ONDO and XRP before we move on, but it looks like people are kind of ready to move on. I see people ask for Caspa, render, and near, a lot of other coins. So if we have time at the end, stick around, smash the like button, and we might take a look at some. I'll tell you the best place to be if you want to look at a lot of coins in the Bros community, though. We tell you this every day. We do a lot of technical analysis over in the Bros community. Come join us over there, and you'll get more Caspa. You'll get more technical analysis than you know what to do with. Kind of like Donald Trump at the Bitcoin conference when he told us we were going to get tired of winning. You're going to get tired of technical analysis if you're in the Bros community. So go ahead and join today. T-shirt, let's get back into the news. Oh, let's see. Oh, real quick. Dylan said, can Tim tell me when to trade ONDO? Dylan, that is what the community is all about. That's what we do, is we tell you when, how, and we teach you the basics and the understandings of how to do it for yourself. But yeah, we do all that over in our Discord group. Make sure to go join today. Let's go ahead and move on to our other news.
Honestly, yeah, Yanni Denmark had a pretty good comment. Said, this is the bull run for the big players with huge amounts of money. So much manipulation. We have to get used to it. It will never be the same again. Be patient and hodl. That's the correct sentiment. That is the correct sentiment. Like, crypto markets have been spoiled in the past with prolonged phases of euphoria. You know, we may not see as prolonged phases of euphoria. We may see spurts of it throughout. But rest assured, I think altcoin prices are going to be much higher, probably by the summer, if not by February, mid-February. So we'll get into the next story here that's going to contribute to how those altcoins get that high. That's with these details here. I want to shoot it over to our producer, Smay, who's got this video queued up. Smay, this is the Cynthia Lummis quote on, I believe it's Fox Business. Go ahead and run that one for us.
So I'm proposing in the Bitcoin Act that we purchase roughly 200,000 Bitcoin a year just by converting money we already have into Bitcoin and hold them for 20 years. If we did that with, say, 5% of all the Bitcoin that will ever exist, which is roughly 1 million Bitcoin, we could cut our debt in half in 20 years. And in the meantime, we would have an asset that's growing in value while our own dollar is decreasing in value. and thereby we could shore up the US dollar as the world's reserve currency. What that does is help us protect ourselves against inflation and protect the US dollar on the world stage.
Well, there you go. So that's Cynthia Lummis doing what she does best, which is putting Democrats and Republicans in a tight spot, saying, hey, look, you just saw us talking about Bitcoin on Fox Business, and now you're going to go tell your constituencies that you're not going to vote for a Bitcoin reserve. That's tough. And if I'm trying to get reelected in the United States, I want to do things that's going to be good for my constituency. And my constituency more than likely watches Fox Business and they know what's going on and what's going to be good for them. So breaking down these metrics here, she says that she wants the United States to buy 200,000 Bitcoin annually for 5 years. You can do the math. Hold for at least 20 years. And she believes that that would have the U.S. national debt in a short order, in just 20 years. So whether or not that part of it comes true, we're not really sure. But the U.S. government is getting to the point where we're above 120% debt to GDP ratio, and we're closing in on, I believe it's $37 trillion of debt at this point in time. And Cynthia Lummis is looking back to her colleagues in the House and saying, hey, look, in the Senate, and saying, hey, look, we got to do something about this. We got to get creative in order to solve this debt. Bitcoin is the solution to at least get half of our debt paid for in 20 years. Whether or not that's going to happen, we don't know, but she's doing what she needs to do in order to get those votes in the Senate. And, Donald Trump's doing what he can do in the executive branch. All of these pro-crypto elected officials are going to come together in 2025 and make America the crypto capital of the world. So, Tim, what's going through your mind when you're hearing Cynthia Lummis kind of outline some of these details? Do you think that she's shooting for the moon to land among the stars, or do you really think that she's going to get these numbers?
I think there's a lot of numbers at play there. I mean, what are the details? I like the 200,000 for 5 years, makes it really clean. She wants to own 1 million Bitcoin in the next 5 years. I think that we could eclipse $1 million per token. I think it's going to be a close range to $1 million per token in the next 5 years. So you have some clarity there, but then it's like, all right, we're talking about the next 20 years. Has she done the full math on what our current debt is and a payment structure to pay it off, along with obviously the interest, because that is what's getting ridiculous at this point. The amount of interest that gets added to that debt every single year is just absolutely ludicrous. So I'm hoping she's thought it through a lot more. Here's what I'll say. Whether or not she's right about buying 1 million crypto in the next 5 years would pay off half our debt in the next 20. What I hear that's great is that she wants to buy Bitcoin and stack Bitcoin inside the U.S. government. She'll have control for the next 4 years, pretty much. I mean, I know there's a midterm election that could see her be in trouble, but my guess would be she's going to have some form of control for 4 years. Can we keep it going after that? Can we then convince the future governments of America, whether Republican or Democrat, to continue to follow that plan to pay off the debt? There's so many variables that are not necessarily controllable. But what's cool is the next 4 years kind of are. She and Donald Trump and other people that are working to build this whole system, they will have control for 4 years. And I like that. And it's very good for Bitcoin holders. And I think it's very good for the United States government as well. And a move that potentially will also be copied by several other countries. I would love to see it. Again, I'm an American. I love America. I love being here. But I would love to see other countries look at America and say, they're buying 1 million Bitcoin in the next 5 years. Let's do the same thing. Let's back our government with the same thing as well. You, me, and everybody else holding Bitcoin very much benefits from a move just like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's move on to our next story here. And this is bringing in an indicator that experienced investors in the crypto space will know about. But for folks who are just tuning in and just getting into Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP, you may never have heard of the Jim Cramer indicator. This is specifically the inverse indicator, because Jim Cramer has come out and he said this: you should own Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a great thing to have in your portfolio. Sound bullish? Maybe you recognize Jim Cramer from financial television on CNBC. But the reality is that we know all too well that this can sometimes be historically a fairly accurate prediction of a local top for Bitcoin. Tim, what do you think about Jim Cramer here in his comments? Should you give credence to his words here, or should you just go ahead and fade him?
Yeah, this isn't a good thing. In fact, again, while I ended up closing in a positive, it was funny the timing of when I found this article late last night. It was literally 5 minutes after I entered a Bitcoin long. And the joke and the meme is, all right, if Jim Cramer's bullish on something, whatever it is about to crash. If he's ever bearish on something, it's about to pump exponentially. But here's the reality of the situation. Jim Cramer is a broken clock. Broken clocks can be right twice a day. He didn't go out and say Bitcoin's about to pump. Bitcoin's to be amazing. But he just said, it looks like he's responding to like a question. He can probably read chat of people engaging with him, kind of like we can do here. It sounds like someone commented something about Bitcoin. What are your thoughts on Bitcoin? And he just in passing said, I hold Bitcoin. You should hold Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a good hold. Right. And we like to joke that the inverse Cramer means it's about to crash, but I don't disagree with him. I would say the same thing. I hold Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a good hold. I recommend holding Bitcoin. That statement says nothing about future price action other than long-term it's up and to the right. But, it's funny that we're doing this, but I really would caution people from reading too far into it and trying to make any type of trade on it. And I say this because no one wants to report this. No one wants to say this because it ruins the joke, but we're the bros. We want to be honest with you. I've witnessed twice in the last 6-7 months Jim Cramer actually call the right direction for Bitcoin, where he says something positive and the price continues to the upside. He says something negative and the price actually dipped for the next couple of days. So while we love the joke, we love the meme, inverse Cramer, the reality is don't let anything Jim Cramer sway you bullishly or bearishly from your crypto holdings. Look at the charts, pay attention to actual news, pay attention to people that know more about what's actually happening in Bitcoin, and invest based off that. Don't join the crowd of saying if we're just going to go the opposite of Jim Cramer, because that will get you wrecked from time to time. As a whole, again, I think we're moving up soon. I don't even know about the next couple of days. I saw the poll that Crux put in earlier. I think there's a chance that we don't do a whole lot of fireworks over the next couple of days. And one of the reasons why is because I think a lot of people are kind of holding out hope and thinking, well, maybe we could just end January with a bang. I want to be very clear here. If you're wondering, when will Bitcoin pump again? When will we see a brand new all-time high? I don't know the answer. I don't know when that'll happen. But I think a very good indication as to what will have to happen to get a brand new all-time high is a lot of negativity, more negativity in crypto. Maybe we have enough right now. I mean, people are negative in chat. People were negative yesterday. What this part of the market is, what this part of the institution and the whale's manipulation of Bitcoin price action is that they know so many retail investors, like people in the chat here, like people on the internet, they know that retail investors tend to be impatient. We want our money now. We want our gains now. We want to know what's happening now. Well, wealthy people, they're patient. They'll sit on their thumbs while you guys freak out and trade back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. They'll let the market makers go crazy, crazy, crazy. They will wait for the opportune time. And to them, an opportune time is prices pulled back from recent highs. Retail seems to be discouraged and probably pessimistic about what the future looks like. That's when they pounce. That's when things skyrocket. So if you're wondering, when is Bitcoin going to rally? It's going to rally when it feels like it's not going to. It's going to rally when people are giving up, when it's not just a chat here or there, but you see all over the internet people saying, I'm done with Bitcoin. It's not doing anything. I'm tired of this being a stable coin. I'm tired of the price not going up, the 10K incoming. And then as soon as there's clearly an overabundance of retail lack of interest and retail pessimism, all of a sudden fireworks take off and the wealthy get wealthier. And so what I advise you to do, what am I from New York? What I advise you to do is to continue to be patient. Buy dips when you see dips. Learn technicals. Use this time to practice some really good skills because we're in semi-tight range, right? There's actually not a lot of movement happening. Practice some trading skills while we're waiting for fireworks to take off again. And then when you least suspect it, that's when I suppose it's going to happen. What's my overall point here? I don't know if it's going to happen before January because a lot of people are still holding out hope it happens in January. I would not be surprised to wait to see some fireworks until, at this point now, a week or two into February, maybe even later. But I would imagine by the end of the first week of February, when we still are not flying and hitting new all-time highs, that retail old thing of saying, why is this not happening? Why am I not making my money right now? I'm done with this market. I'm selling everything. I'm walking away. The minute you sell is the minute it will actually shoot to the upside. So that's the take here. Don't trade Jim Cramer. Trade the charts. You'll do okay.
That's right. That's right, Tim. And then we got a couple more headlines here. This one might surprise you. This is the European Squash Federation has adopted a Bitcoin treasury. The ESF has become the first major sporting federation in Europe to embrace cryptocurrency by adding Bitcoin to its operations. Very cool. A lot of American athletes have actually opted to be paid in Bitcoin, but now we're seeing an entire league, entire federation in Europe do the same. Coinbase secures regulatory approval to expand services in Argentina. This is probably more bullish for the Coinbase stock than it is for anything else. So that's positive overall. But Tim, that's going to round out the overall news today for crypto. I'm seeing a lot of negative thoughts, a lot of pessimism in the chat. And look, bros, this is not our first rodeo. This is far from the first time that we've seen a chat full of pessimism. It happens, right? It happens. This is what the market has been doing since the beginning of markets, since the East Indian Trade Company, since the very first ability for retail and investment class to go ahead and put their hard-earned dollars and euros into investments, is they try to make the market shake you out, either by dropping the price suddenly, which is what we saw yesterday, a huge episode of that's suddenly in the rearview mirror, or they just make it really, really boring, make you disengaged, and then they dangle something in front of you like corn futures or oil prices or something like that. That's what I've been the victim of in the past, was I get boring with my high conviction. I get bored of my high conviction trades, and then all of a sudden something shiny comes up, and it's like, for me, it was natural gas. I thought I was going to have some buying thesis for natural gas, and I got wrecked on it, right? I didn't have very high conviction in it. I just got distracted. Don't get distracted in this moment. I'm hearing a lot of people, wondering about other ETF classes. There's nothing wrong with educating yourself about the world of finance. It's quite interesting. But if you understand the opportunity that Bitcoin is and a lot of other altcoins, then you really shouldn't be tempted to diversify into other asset classes unless you have expertise in them. Like if you've studied construction, if you've studied real estate, then of course keep winning in those industries. But if you're kind of newer to investing, you're here because someone has shown you that they made a lot of money from Bitcoin or altcoins, right? And that is a unique opportunity that we are in the middle of the bull swing, the swing up of that moment. Donald Trump just got elected a pro-crypto president. Everybody he's appointed is pro-crypto, which is a polar opposite of the previous Biden administration. Gary Gensler is out. And so the crypto industry, you guys in the chat are like, well, why aren't we going up to the upside? Why is my Chainlink bags, negative? Why are my XRP bags negative? It's because you came in too late, right? You came in and you bought elevated prices, and there's been a correction. There's nothing wrong with that. You just have to be patient. You have to be patient, and you do have to take stock of if you're properly managing your risk, right? So the pessimism is understood. We're not strangers to it. You guys are far from the only people who are been pessimistic in the investment world. Just stay positive, hold tight to your convictions, and if you're not convicted, right? If you don't know anything about Bitcoin and why you should invest in it, then continue to tune in to programs like the Investing Bros to gain an understanding of what blockchain is, what layer ones are, and the future and the potential of it. But also don't be overexposed if you don't truly understand it, because you're going to get shaken out. You're going to be exit liquidity for BlackRock and Fidelity ETF holders. That's just the way it's going to go. So
100%. 100%. Let's go ahead and transition back into a couple of coins to do some Q&A. Drop some coins you want to see. I know earlier someone was asking, we haven't looked at it here in a while. Let's take a look at CASPA and what CASPA is doing. You want to talk about the epitome of consistent and boring. Well, that zone right there of support has held up for a long time now, since December of 2023, and it looks to stay intact at the moment. Just a lot of stuff happening here. Technically speaking, even we're creating a second right shoulder. There's going to be bears out there saying, watch out for this head and shoulders pattern. I'm not too concerned in reality about that actually happening. But if there's some sort of crash, look for KASPA to drop. What would that send us down to? Let's do some quick analysis here. You move it down to roughly where the neckline is, move it over to a breakout. That would send KASPA's price all the way back down to 5 cents. Not going to happen. Not going to happen unless the bull market absolutely is over. Let's take a look at how oscillators are performing. We are really close to getting a buy signal right in here on the daily chart. The problem is, by the time we got the money flow going positive, the oscillator started cooling off again. So that's not really a buy signal. There's going to be some people that think, like, did we squeak it in? Is it a buy signal here a little bit? No, it's not a buy signal there. We had, even if it was a buy signal, we hit the smart trail and we're coming back down, but very confusing daily chart right there for sure. Let's take a look at the 4 hour, and then I want to back out and look at Fibonacci here and liquidations as well. Keep an eye on a downtrend kind of in play here, starting back over here. We have a little bit of a channel kind of forming on our way back towards the downside. We have take profit and support zones kind of piling up here back around 11.4. So if we keep dipping there, that's going to be an interesting zone to keep an eye on. We're on the precipice of a potential buy signal with a green reversal bullish momentum. And it looks like we want to start positive money flow, but what's ruining this is this gray dot that's hiding behind the red. That's pulling us back to the downside. So we are looking for a good upward swing. We are looking for a good upward trajectory here. Is there any support? If we don't go all the way down here, maybe just a return back towards 12 cents. But I think we are. So we're still pulling back. There's a lot of weakness right now. By the way, also 4 hour buy signals. It's not rare to see a pullback that's a manipulated, confusing pullback before we actually trigger. But yeah, look at even on the 1 hour chart, the rising support here on 12 cents. And I'm talking about 12, like pretty much almost on 12 cents zone. 12.1 is a high level there. That's where you're going to kind of look for KASPA to pick up and go back to the upside. But again, this chart's boring. I mean, and I love KASPA. I hold KASPA. I don't know if I'm trading this right now. Maybe if your bag's still light and you want to accumulate more, you're accumulating there around 12 cents. But this one's one I kind of want to see a higher high for the first time in quite some time since December. I want to get us back above 15.5 cents. And then we'll see some real fireworks start to form there. What you would keep an eye on, like I said, Fibonacci-wise, let's start here. Let's do retracement. Kind of coming down here. Yeah, we kind of touched that platinum pocket. We're in the golden pocket at the moment. Let's do extension, though. This is going to be probably where I would keep an eye on if we start to make a move to the upside. Look for a return back towards these highs back here in December, back towards 18 cents, or that golden pocket extension right there. Liquidation-wise, same thing. Yep, right here in the 12-cent zone. A little bit of liquidations, but not that much down below. Not a lot of longs piling up to go get exposed. That means traders will get boring. They'll find these bottom positions. They'll want to shoot back towards the upside. And guess where all that liquidity is? Way up here, back above 18 cents. So that's what we're seeing here for KASPA. Let's take a quick look at SUI. But I wanted to let you guys know, in case you did not know, go check out our new channel, Alpha Bros, being run by Crux. And there will be a video going out later this week all about SUI. And he's writing the script. He's almost done with the script. He'll shoot it. We'll edit it. We'll get it out to you guys later this week. But he is very excited. He called me. He said, Tim, if this SUI video doesn't get over 1,000 views, the internet's broken, because there's some great information I have found here about SUI. So make sure to pay attention to that. Next week, I'll put out a SUI price prediction video as well. But let's look at the charts. Look at the short time frame. What's happening here with SUI, because it is pulling back after hitting new all-time highs earlier here in January. Let's take a look at our oscillator. Let's take a look at what's happening. This is one where we had sell signals for sure, red reversals, bearish momentums, negative money flow. But I'm going to imagine we've already hit the smart trail. Yeah, we went below the smart trail, which makes me start to question. Let's go back to this oscillator on SUI, and let's start to creep up here. Let's look at other time frames. We had a sell signal on the 2 daily. All right, so we'll check out the 2 daily. Where's that smart trail? Red reversal, bearish momentum, negative money flow. What about the 3 daily? We had a sell signal on the 3 daily. All right, so we're keep raising the stakes here. What about the 5 daily? We had a sell signal on the 5 daily. All right, so there's a lot of negativity, and I think we talked about this. There's a negativity on the weekly chart. Now, I'm not going to take this with too much information. It's a newer coin. This is really the first sell signal we've even seen from it. So we'll have to take that with a grain of salt. But I will take the 2 and the 3 daily and even that 5 daily into consideration of saying, hey, these are levels of major pullback that we wanted to see. But guess what? I mean, we've hit them all. Again, we crossed below the daily. We definitely hit the 2 daily. We went below the 2 daily. We are currently sitting on the bottom of the 3 daily. We hit the 5 daily. The only thing left would be, where is this one? All right, so we could knock all of these out and come down here to $33.28 and even hit that weekly. We're not that far away from kind of giving the answer, the response that SUI needed. This coin was overextended. That's just, it's that simple. This coin had rallied up very high, it had very great performance. It ignored some pretty big bearish divergences here. At some point, you gotta correct. That's just part of a healthy bull market. And that absolutely looks like what it's doing, but that's absolutely crazy. I mean, we have already even hit a 5 daily smart trail. What am I saying here? This is bullish. This means it is getting ready to come back to being no longer overextended, but ready to make a larger move. If you take a look at this macro perspective and you're looking at Fibonacci, I'll go back here. I'll go back to October. And what this tells me right here, with us pretty much bouncing right here, this is what 340 is the target to watch. The 0.5 level of Fibonacci, or sorry, 0.382 level. I misspoke there. 0.382 level of Fibonacci. This is a conservative pullback. That means this is a very strong bull market, but we're pulling back. We had a healthy correction, and then we should have a very strong upward move as well. So that's what I'm seeing on the SUI charts. Yes. Are we down from recent highs pretty significantly? In fact, we're down roughly 35%. Absolutely. But we're very close to the end of it. I think we might, again, 340, give or take, might have a couple more percents to fall. Just a little bit further to the downside before we correct, but then we have a big move to the upside coming right after that. So love SUI, hold SUI. I'll give you the Jim Cramer. I hold SUI. You should hold SUI. Look for a good purchase there around 340. Could be your next spot to enter. One more coin, and then we're going to wrap out with our factoid of the day. We did XRP technical analysis earlier, Toby. So thank you for that. Go XRP. Love the news that's coming out today. Love what the charts are saying. Let's look at Cardano. And normally we didn't do any Chainlink TA. We'll be back with Chainlink TA tomorrow. Or we gave Chainlink a day of rest on the technical analysis. I did look at some in our Discord, but here on YouTube, we're giving Chainlink a day of rest. Let's look at Cardano, and we'll call it a day for today. So let's do our kind of routine here. Where were the sell signals? You see we're sitting on the daily smart trail. Don't know why I moved that line. Let's just get rid of it. Let's check out where we had sell signals. Yeah, right here we technically had a sell signal. You can make an argument. We're kind of working on another one right now, but we're sitting on the smart trail. So don't read too much into that one. 2 daily sell signal. There we go. Got a green reversal coming in though. So let's see if this continues. 3 daily sell signal. There we go. Red reversal, bearish momentum, negative money flow. 5 daily. There we go. Sell signal. All right. What about the weekly? No weekly sell signal. Still have positive money flow right in here. So our highest time frame here, 5 daily. Let's go back to it. If we end up hitting that smart trail, 78 cents could be back on the table here for Cardano. 3 daily, we're coming 78 cents. 2 daily, we're touching the 2 daily right now at 85, but 78 cents fits within this bill. We're talking about a level also when you start to turn all this off. We're in a downtrending channel. Again, Cardano shot up over here over 125. We're correcting. 76, 78 cents, give or take, is going to put us right back down here on this support level for Cardano. So I know there's a lot of people out there right now saying, oh my gosh, I just want Cardano to get back up over $1 and stay there. Otherwise, this coin is dead to me. And some of you guys are listening to this and saying, I hate Cardano. I'm glad it's dying. It's not dying. This is, again, a very big rally happened on this coin. Take a look at this chart. From a Fibonacci perspective, this would be what you're looking at here. We have pulled back, and we're telling it we could probably pull back down to the 0.382 again. Always need to zoom out and look at perspective here. This is not a disastrous pullback for Cardano. In fact, the reality of this move is it could have pulled back all the way back here towards 54 cents and still been reasonably bullish for this bull market. So that is what it is with Cardano. I'm not saying for sure we're dropping all the way back, but a lot of those larger time frames would make sense for a pullback down that far. I see the chat saying Bitcoin is dropping. Well, if you were watching the show earlier, this is not surprising to us. We were calling for a pullback towards the 1 hour smart trail here on Bitcoin, and that's going to be somewhere in this world of right at or maybe a little below 101,000. What this means is, unfortunately, because I, kind of got, sometimes I love trading. Sometimes trading's a lot of my brain. I win some, I lose some. But with us hitting this 101, it means I'm going to be staring at charts this evening and being in Discord, looking at trade setups. I do have Q&A right after the show, so that's what we're going to do during Q&A. We're going to be watching the Bitcoin chart, and I'll be answering your questions as well. But yes, it's pulling back. Why? Because we said it was going to. I mean, that's the simplicity of it. We said it was going to. It's doing exactly what we talked about earlier in the show. Make sure you guys are in that Discord if you want to know more information. Let's go ahead and go to our factoid of the day here, Smay, and then we'll call it a show. We'll call it a day, and we'll go to that Q&A.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Factoid of the Day, brought to you by Decrypted.tax. And by the way, I can't believe that some of you people came to this show and were told numerous times to take advantage of this free Discord that we offer, and you don't do it. That's an absolute shame, and it sounds like you just don't love yourself. So go ahead in the description now and join that free Discord where you can engage in the free cool stuff that we have to offer, like Tim's exclusive live streams occasionally, Tim's Takes. Without further ado, let's go ahead and read this factoid. An AI researcher trained a neural network to create new ice cream flavors. Which surprising flavor idea did it come up with? And no, I am not the AI researcher. A. Caramel fried onion. B. Pickled strawberry marshmallow. C. Mustard cookie dough. Or D. Barbecue banana sundae.
These are all disgusting.
This is a tricky one, Smay.
So bad. Who wants onion in their ice cream? Oh my gosh! I mean, who wants pickle in their ice cream? Who wants mustard? Who wants any of these? Right. So one of them has to be correct.
I feel like D would be the one that I would try because barbecue's already
banana sundae. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't try any of them. I'm
gonna go D.
Gosh.
I think.
No, hold on. Caramel fried onion could be pretty good.
Yeah, okay, so caramel fried onion, if you're just talking about a caramel fried onion itself,
what about caramel fried Funyuns?
But throwing that into ice cream just...
No, that's a stretch. That's a reach. I'm sorry. It's probably bad.
All right, pickled strawberry marshmallow is just too all over the place. We're going to split on this one, Smay. Are you okay with the splitting? I don't think it's D.
Go ahead and split.
This is chaos. I think it might be caramel fried onion. I think it could be A.
Well, I just want to say, barbecue banana sundae is a crime against humanity because savory banana is the worst thing. All right, without further ado, everybody, it is B, pickled strawberry marshmallow. Now, you might be wondering, what's with this random AI question? Well, I was just trying to stick with the theme with the, there's Chinese AIs that just pop up all over the place. And,
Right.
But anyways, guys, back to you.
That's disgusting.
Smash the like for Smay Bros.
That's gross. Goodness gracious. What was it again? Pickled strawberry marshmallow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pineapple on pizza is delicious.
How much would you have to be paid to take a bite of that ice cream?
1 Bitcoin.
Yeah, that might be low. I might do it for a whole Bitcoin. Let's be honest. I would do it for an Ethereum. But the point is that is disgusting. Just 1 bite. I'll do it for 1 Ethereum. Guys, that's going to wrap out our show for today. Guess what? Crypto's dropping right now as we told you it would. We told you it would. Make sure to go back and watch the show. Be here every single day. Don't miss a single piece of content that the bros put out there. You know the best way to make sure you don't miss any of it? Hit the subscribe button right now. We just crossed 42,000 subscribers. Let's get to 50,000 here very, very quickly. Hit subscribe. Hit a notification bell. Show up for all of our content. With that said, though, we love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Adios.